Do you ever feel like you're too hard on yourself? Why can we be so kind to others, but so mean to ourselves? If you felt this way, you're not alone. In today's video, I'm going to talk about self-compassion. The Proven Power of Being Kind to Yourself, by Dr. Kristin Neff. This book shows us how being kind to ourselves can make us happier, stronger, and even more successful. Dr. Neff explains how self-compassion can transform our lives, bringing more happiness, resilience, and even success. Stick around to learn about key concepts from each chapter, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Chapter 1 is titled, What is Self-Compassion? Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness you give to a good friend. Dr. Neff explains that self-compassion has 3 parts: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. Self-kindness is being nice to yourself when you make mistakes. Common humanity means remembering that everyone makes mistakes. Mindfulness is being aware of your feelings without judging them. Imagine that you mess up at work and start feeling bad about yourself. Instead of beating yourself up, you remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes. You take a deep breath, acknowledge your feelings, and speak kindly to yourself. This helps you feel better and handle the situation calmly. The key lesson in this chapter is that being kind to yourself helps you deal with life's challenges better and reduces stress. Next, on to Chapter 2, titled, The Science Behind Self-Compassion. In this chapter, Dr. Neff talks about the science showing that self-compassion is good for you. People who are kind to themselves are happier and more resilient. They have less anxiety, depression, and stress, and they are more satisfied with their lives. Self-compassion also improves physical health by lowering inflammation and boosting the immune system. Think about a tough time you went through. If you had been kind to yourself, you might have felt more motivated to learn from the experience and move on, instead of getting stuck in self-blame. The key lesson in this chapter is that science shows that self-compassion is important for mental and physical health. Chapter 3 is titled Self-Compassion vs. Self-esteem. Self-compassion is different from self-esteem. Self-esteem is about feeling good about yourself, often by comparing yourself to others. It can be fragile and depend on success or approval. Self-compassion is not about judging yourself. It's about being kind to yourself, no matter what. Suppose you get negative feedback on a project. With low self-esteem, you might feel terrible about yourself. But with self-compassion, you acknowledge the pain without letting it define you and treat yourself with care. So, the key lesson in this chapter is that self-compassion gives you a steady source of self-worth that doesn't rely on external approval. Next is Chapter 4, titled Self-Compassion and Motivation. Some people think being kind to yourself makes you lazy. But Dr. Neff says self-compassion can actually motivate you. When you are kind to yourself, you are more likely to take responsibility and try to improve, because you want to be better, not because you fear failure. For example, if you fail a test, self-compassion helps you learn from your mistakes and try again, instead of giving up and feeling bad about yourself. The key lesson in this chapter is that self-compassion motivates you to achieve your goals in a healthy way. Chapter 5 is titled, The 3 Elements of Self-Compassion. In this chapter, Dr. Neff explains that self-compassion has 3 parts: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. Self-kindness means being gentle and understanding with yourself, especially when you make mistakes or fail. It's about treating yourself with the same care you would offer to a friend who is having a tough time. Common humanity reminds you that everyone goes through struggles and makes mistakes. You are not alone in your suffering, and it's a shared human experience. Mindfulness is about being aware of your feelings and thoughts without judging them. Instead of ignoring your pain or getting lost in it, you acknowledge it and face it with compassion. Let's look at this example scenario. After a breakup, self-kindness helps you soothe your pain. Common humanity reminds you that others have gone through the same thing. And mindfulness lets you feel your emotions without being overwhelmed. The key lesson in this chapter is that using these three elements can improve your emotional resilience and well-being. Chapter 6 is titled Self-Compassion in Relationships. Self-compassion is good for your relationships too. When you're kind to yourself, you're more understanding and empathetic towards others. Dr. Neff explains how self-compassion can reduce conflicts and build stronger relationships. For instance, if a friend disappoints you, self-compassion helps you manage your feelings, communicate better, and keep the relationship strong without holding grudges. The key lesson in this chapter is that being kind to yourself can lead to healthier and more fulfilling relationships. Now, onto Chapter 7 titled Self-Compassion for Parents. Parenting can be tough, and parents often feel a lot of pressure and guilt. In this chapter, Dr. Neff states that self-compassion is important for parents. By being kind to themselves, parents can handle stress better and create a more loving family environment. Let's look at this example scenario. After a hard day with your child, instead of feeling like a bad parent, remind yourself that parenting is difficult and you're doing your best. This reduces stress and helps you be more patient with your child. The key lesson in this chapter is that self-compassion helps parents cope better and creates a positive family dynamic. Next we have Chapter 8 titled Self-Compassion and Healing. Self-compassion is key to healing from trauma and emotional wounds. In this chapter, Dr. Neff explains how being kind to yourself during tough times can help you recover and avoid more psychological harm. By acknowledging your pain and offering compassion, you create a safe space for healing. For instance, if you've lost someone, self-compassion allows you to grieve without judging yourself, giving you the support you need to heal. The key lesson in this chapter is that practicing self-compassion during difficult times helps you heal and move forward. The last chapter is titled Cultivating Self-Compassion. Here, Dr. Neff gives easy tips to help you be kinder to yourself every day. She suggests doing simple exercises to stay aware of your feelings, writing kind thoughts in a journal, and saying positive phrases to yourself. Practicing these often will make being kind to yourself a regular habit. For example, always start your day with a mantra like, "I deserve love and kindness." This simple practice sets a positive tone and reminds you to be kind to yourself. The key lesson in this chapter is that making self-compassion a regular part of your routine can transform your life for the better. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this summary of self-compassion. Don't forget to practice self-kindness and share this message with others. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit the subscribe button for more great content. Thanks for watching.